Got one this afternoon for my IT client in Ohio. It was with a government-adjacent organization. We called into the IT manager on staff, who I'd been pointed in the direction of, and was open to having us out. They have about 150 users. He tries to keep everything internally to the best visibility, but was open to hearing about how we could help supplement what he does.
I've had a pretty good day today. I actually got news today that my client out in Des Moines closed the deal for about $1,600 monthly reoccurring. And I also got 2 appointments for my client out in Kansas City. The first one is an engineering firm that wants to meet. They're about 15 minutes away, wants to come on site tomorrow. They're actively shopping. 23 users. We're meeting with the president to get them a competitive quote from us and better introduce ourselves. The other one is with a construction firm that wants to meet at the beginning of March. They're working with a guy who's currently doing break fix capabilities for them. Wants to talk about VoIP phones, so it's going to be more leaning towards VoIP phones and showcasing a little bit of what we do as far as our managed services, but it should be a good one, meeting with the office manager and the owner.
Got one today for a roofer in Oakland. The facility's around 250,000 square feet. They're looking at sectional replacements in 2 of the areas, and then another portion they're looking at just getting repairs right now because it's not in too bad a shape and it's a little bit newer than the other ones. And then yesterday, actually, I had 3 appointments. 2 of them were inbounds for people that previously saved my number. One of them was from 2 weeks ago. One of them was for about 3 months ago. So it just worked really well. That had a good enough conversation. They were open to saving my number and then giving me a call whenever the time was ready. So really cool that they were able to do that.
I just got another one today. It's for my roofer in Texas. We're going to be going out to a nursing home. It's about 70,000 square foot. He said the roof is absolutely shot. Wants 2 different bids, one for just the repairs, one for a full roof replacement. Wants to see as many photos as we can get for him, showing him all the damage, lack of maintenance. So should be going out there Tuesday next week.
I got 2 appointments today, both for our baseball-related client here in St. Louis. The first one was with a law firm. Wanted to hear about all of our partnership options. Same with this one. It's a land surveying company. Reached out to somebody that oversaw a lot of their major accounts. Talked to his internal team, and we're getting time set up for next week right now.
I got an appointment this afternoon for my client in Northwest Arkansas. This is with a industrial services company. It's about 220 users, and I talked to the president last week. He pointed me in the direction. They actually hired a guy from an MSP. He hired him in-house. Just started about 3 weeks ago. So he told me that he's drinking from a fire hose right now. And when I talked to him today, he said the same thing. So he does want to look at licensing. He thinks they're overpaying for about 200 business premium Microsoft 365 licenses. And then he also wants to do some server work. They have another location across the street that he wants to do some work with. So should be a great call. We're going to meet with him next Tuesday afternoon. So it should be great.
I got an appointment today for my Janitorial client in Texas with a trucking company. It's about 30,000 square feet and they get cleaning daily. They have something in place right now, but want to see what else is out there, so we're going to go meet with them next week.
Alright, slower morning today, but we have had a very good week otherwise, including some major highlights yesterday.
I got our first accounting appointment. So it's a really good meeting. It's for our accounting client out in Cleveland. It's with a fabrication shop. It's 7 employees. Talked to the vice president. He said they're looking to outsource their accounting work. I also got one for our baseball affiliated client yesterday with an engineering company. Wanted to go over some advertisement as well as getting a company box. So should be a couple good meetings.
I got an appointment for our roofer in Harrisburg, PA. Pretty good one with the property management company. They oversee 390 properties in our region. We're going to go meet with them in a couple weeks. But our biggest highlight of the day goes to our new man, Nick.
Yeah, I got an appointment yesterday with a new client. Yeah, the client, he's got 16 properties in one location in California. So they're looking for a contractor to work with some preventative maintenance and anything that might come up in the future.
I got not an FTA this morning, but it was an appointment that we met with last year. Ended up being a no-show, so I'm struggling to get back in touch with this guy. They've almost doubled in size since the last time I spoke with them. It's a nonprofit in New York City. 200 users, 12 locations. It's with the IT director. So looking at some cybersecurity tools. They're having a lot of email phishing issues, and let's look at email protection as well. So should be a great conversation. It's for next Tuesday.
An assisted living facility, about 40,000 square foot. I spoke to the maintenance director. Currently, they don't have a maintenance plan in place, and they handle most of their maintenance in-house. But they were open to exploring some options when it comes to preventative maintenance. So we're headed out there in the next couple of weeks to provide them a quote for maintenance.
So I just got another one for my Indianapolis software client. Like I mentioned earlier in the week, we're hosting this event next month on the 5th. We're just trying to get a bunch of people in engineering around the Indianapolis area out there, a bunch of like-minded people. So this guy was pretty interested. I got him signed up, and I'm going to call my shot on my medical client, get them on the board today as well.
Go ahead and call a shot for a new one in San Jose for Nailed IT.
I'll go ahead and call my shot for my roofer out in Colorado Springs.
I'm out for the afternoon, so I'll call my shot for accounting for tomorrow.
Thought I had an appointment today. I put in the chat and everything, but it turns out it was a second time appointment. It's still good though. With a local construction company, 150 users, spoke with the IT manager. They have like a year left on their contract maybe. He's not exactly sure when their contract ends, but currently use a company for IT, recently been bought out, lots of pain with communication, resolution time and response time, so it should be a pretty good conversation.
I got an appointment today for my client in Buffalo. I had reached out to the IT director a couple of days ago, and he was looking for something very specific, help with like a backup, some type of like backup source for the servers. And I had to reach out to my client to make sure that he could do it. And he said, yeah, he definitely would be able to help out. So I called him back today, let him know I spoke with our owner and he could do it. So I set that for next week on Thursday, so it should be a really good one for us.
I am calling my shot in Nashville, Tennessee.
Call my shot in Chicago.
We're doing pretty good. You got a couple on the board, maybe 2 or 3. From a couple of us, I think Blake and Marge got 1 or 2 themselves. The rest of us still hawking them down. We're going to be focusing in on our client in Sarasota and New Hampshire this afternoon, so hopefully I can snag some. But I'll let these guys call their shots, and Marge and Blake can tell you about their appointments.
I got one for my Austin IT client today. It was a banger with a large school in the area, 205 users. So they're meeting next week. I'm excited to see what happens from that.
So I got 2 today. The first one was in Dayton, Ohio, roofing. I called the president of the company, who's really mad that I called his mobile, but he told me who I needed to talk to, called him. They're in a preventative maintenance plan right now, not too happy with them, so we're going to go out there and give them another quote. That should be a good one. I got one in Little Rock for Hostetler, got a 0 off, and it was with a apartment complex. They have 1 building that's leaking, 10 buildings total, so I think that's a good opportunity as well.
We're doing a lot of building this morning. It's been a grind of a morning, but I mean, that's the name of the game, right? You gotta do it. So I am confident I can pull in 1 before the day is out. So we'll talk again tomorrow. I'll have one before the day is done.
Just got one for Schaefer out in Austin. It's a university. We're going to be going out and taking a look. They got over 100 units out there. He wants us to see if we can save money on their annual maintenance. So we're going to be going out there on Friday pretty early next week.
Had a pretty good day so far today. Got a lot of really good proposals out. Our cleaner in New York, Schaefer's client, just got a massive proposal. So they're finding out tomorrow about that one. I got a really good appointment yesterday. Spoke with the maintenance director, got passed down from the president of a golf course. He told me they're redoing one of their buildings. It's a TPO roof, 10,000 square feet. So we're going to give them a replacement quote next week. Hopefully get that one closed fast. But yeah, super excited. We're cruising through the beginning of the month.
I got a few warm leads that I've got, but nothing on the board so far. I'll be calling my shot we'll go for Atlas in the afternoon.
I got a couple good warm leads this morning, and then I got a good proposal for my Houston roofer for $600,000 for roofs.
Got 3 decision maker calls this morning, 3 warm leads. Hoping to wrap those up tomorrow or next week, but I'm calling my shot for Soaring Towers.
Got 2 proposals out, one for my roofing client, one for my cleaning client. And then I got a banger appointment for my cleaning client.
I've had a couple good conversations of people telling me they'll call me back later this afternoon to schedule something.
Just got a good one for Supreme in Dallas. It's like 6 buildings, looking to get some leaks patched up, so it should be a good one.
I got a couple warm leads for my accounting client in Chicago this morning that I'll be following up with tomorrow and throughout next week. Otherwise, right now, we're calling for roofers out in Oklahoma City and Sacramento. And yeah, looking to have a good afternoon here.
Good opportunity, 250,000 square feet. They're looking at sectional re-roofs on their property, and there's 3 different contacts we're going to be meeting there. Introduce ourselves to.
Just got one for my client in Kansas. It is with a oil company. I talked with their IT manager a couple months back in December. He had pushed me off till the beginning of the year, and his wife kept answering the phone, kept telling me to call back. He finally picked up today. So they have about 35 users in several locations, so was open to seeing what we can do for them.
Doing well. Got a banger here for 125 users for my Extra Solutions out of New York. So scheduled for the 17th there. It's going to be a good one.
Just got off a partner meeting with my client out in Oregon. We have a couple proposals out that are looking really good. He wants me to check up on one for 3,800 that's looking pretty close. I also had a conversation with my client out in Des Moines this morning. We closed a deal for 1,700 monthly reoccurring this morning. So things are going really good. I have a lot of good stuff in the pipeline. Just getting everything reorganized so that way we can make it linear and keep moving forward to get more.
Making some dials. I am calling my shot in North Carolina today.
But let's hear about yours.
A guy in Tulsa called him. Gave me a call back. He's doing about $1 million. Him and his father. You know, he's had the business probably a little over 20 years. They're doing $1 million. They don't really have anything or anyone bringing them more commercial leads. They're just kind of sitting around waiting for the phone to actually ring to get a lead. So sounded pretty interested. Got him to set the invite. It's on for next week. We got another reschedule from a month ago. Called him like, hey, you know, we're supposed to meet. The day got ahead of you. You want to still meet? He said, yeah, let's do it. So that got accepted. So that's all I got.
Oh yeah.
We'll take those. Brock, what about you selling CRMs over here?
Yeah, got a CRM appointment. It's with a MSP in Cincinnati. I called the guy. They're actually going through some talks right now about the current CRM. He was kind of frustrated. They're under contract, so he's trying to figure out if he can get out or kind of what he wants to do with it. But had a good conversation, booked the time for us to hop on a screen share on Friday. So he wants to kind of check us out. So there's some cool features that that we have that he was kind of complaining about and talking about. So it should be a good meeting at least on Friday.
Good deal. All right. Well, we know what we're supposed to do, right? A little light this morning. It's kind of been the theme. So let's just do what we do best. Pick up the phone, call the mobile numbers, get some decision makers on the phone, show them the value. If we get a meeting, get them to accept. That's the key of this month. Accepted calendar invites, right? Doesn't count if it's not accepted. So let's get some appointments on the board this afternoon. Have a big day. I want Sam to come back to just his calendar being absolutely obliterated by appointments. And he doesn't have a time to get up and eat, use the restroom, nothing. So let's fill him up, all right? Have a good lunch.
I was actually working this morning to update our company calendar to kind of silence the notifications that we're sending out. That way we didn't overbear with people in all the meetings that were coming through, especially because we had so many events here. So trying to make that a little bit more silent. A few other IT issues that were popping off that bounced around, put out little fires. I actually have to help Briggs. I currently have the Mac set up to automatically set the time server. So I'm going to disable that for Briggs, that way he can do some testing on his end. And that's what I've got going on today.
Yeah, so this morning I worked on just getting some lists for clients and then just working on a couple of small projects for reps and managers. This afternoon I have a kickoff call with a new client, and then I am going to be creating invoices for the following month for the rest of the afternoon.
Sent out 2 offers today that I need to start following up on, reach out to more people, get ready for the new hires that we got coming on in the next few weeks, and start prepping for some upcoming career fairs.
Pretty much typical day, sourcing some stuff, have a couple calls later this afternoon for Fair Mechanical. They also had an interview today, so I plan on calling them and following up with that, per usual.
Knocking out some social posts and blogs for clients this morning, and then we have an onboarding meeting with the new IT client that we're going to get underway here soon.
So this morning I've just been working, like yesterday we had the call with Safe Stores, and I've just been working on getting that whole plan for their SEO set up. So I finally backlinked all of the relative logs to the corresponding solutions pages, and ran a site audit and kind of just checking all that out and hoping to boost his SEO. So, yep.
So I've been making posts about one of our new hires, Emily. She's a BDR, so I'm going to get that out this afternoon as well as the rest of this month. And then I got out about 3 posts about Blake and the proposals that him and his pest control client have been doing. And then I also got a proposal post out about Ross, and then I got out several daily recaps for February 2nd and January 30th. And then I've been doing my 10 out of 10s, of course, and grading, and I'll keep doing that this afternoon.
I've been working on that email marketing, so the journey part of going through and reading the filters. Think I got in a pretty good spot, so I'm going to work with Briggs probably after lunch, and that's about it.
Working on the email events endpoint, so tracking what happens after you send an email, if it gets rejected, clicked on, stuff like that. And then also working on a time zone issue that Evan let me know about, so I've been working on that.
Just got a good appointment from my IT client in southern Missouri with a dealership. They have 3 dealerships, over 100 users. Got it locked in for next Wednesday.
The first one I got this morning was for my Phoenix HVAC client. I spoke to the maintenance director at an assisted living facility, 40,000 square foot, 8 total units. He was interested in a preventative maintenance plan. They currently don't have one in place, but he's the only guy out there that does the maintenance. So he could really benefit from a maintenance plan, so we're headed out there towards the middle of this month to provide him a quote for that. And then I just got one for my Akron HVAC client. Spoke to the assistant general manager at a hotel. This one was about 60,000 square foot. A bunch of PTAC units as well as 7 package units. Currently they have an in-house team that does their maintenance, but their go-to contractor for repairs or replacements just went out of business, and so they're looking for a new contractor to be able to call for repair jobs as well as replacements down the line. So we're headed out there next Tuesday to make an introduction.
I got my 3rd one for my Indianapolis IT client today. I spoke with a VP of a manufacturer earlier. Found out that they have a hybrid environment, but their MSP is just one guy, and he's been with them for about 20 years. He's starting to think, you know, what if he gets hit by a bus or something, service just falls off and then they're screwed. So he was open to hearing us out, seeing what we could do for him. I got a team set up for next Thursday. It's about 40 devices, 2 servers on-prem, lots of projects on the roadmap. Really excited about this opportunity for sure.
So I got another appointment for my client down in Buffalo. It's going to be another good one for us. I reached out to the president of an HR company. He definitely was interested in hearing, you know, what we had to offer. They have like an internal guy that does a little bit for him, but he was really looking for a company that had more expertise for IT issues, and looking for like an IT support help desk. So I set that for at the end of February, and they had about 10 to 15 users, but it should be a real good one for us.
I got a pretty good appointment earlier today for my IT client in Davenport. I called a floor crafter company. They basically were working with a company that I am familiar with, and they're not unhappy with them, but they're always just open to seeing how other IT firms operate. So we're meeting with him next week. Should be pretty good. It's a smaller operation, but they do have some needs. So we'll talk about it next Tuesday. And then I just got another appointment for my Georgia IT client. Actually an inbound call from the COO of an insurance firm. Pretty large firm out of Atlanta. They've got locations all throughout Georgia, but they've got a slew of needs. They work with a company up in Maryland. They just kind of like to know who's in their backyard. As far as like their phones, they work with another company, and she said it's been a nightmare. They're also looking to upgrade some of their conference rooms when it comes to the connectivity and some of the devices. So told her we could really help with all that. It's about 135 users, 2 locations. Should be a beautiful appointment. Yeah, that'd be perfect.